Hello, my dear kiddos. Warm welcome to this session. I know, it's been so many days. I have posted my videos. First of all, a very big sorry for that. I know, I haven't been consistent with the videos because children, I had a lot of family commitments. In fact, the last 4 5 videos which I posted, I was actually pregnant during that time, and then I happily delivered a very healthy girl child, and she's 6 months now. Yeah, of course, the child needs me, right? Yeah, so nurturing the child and days went. Yes, so I thought, why not let me start putting the videos? Yeah, because my mind was always there. When am I going to start putting the lectures? So here I am back with a lot of excitement. You should tell me whether I'm back with a bang or not. So let us begin, children. I'm super excited about this journey, and I'll make sure that this series is continuous, and I'm regularly posting the videos. Please watch them, and I feel it'll be definitely useful for you all. Yeah. So lastly, we left with phylum Aschelminthus. So today we are continuing with the phylum Annelida, right? So yeah, are you people ready? Let us begin the session with a lot of excitement. Yeah, come on. So yes, I'm going to follow the usual methodology where I will first tell about the general characteristics and then the typical characteristics, and followed by that examples of the phylum where I show you the pictures, right? So the same format I'm going to follow. So I'll also do one thing. Once we are completing the phylum, so the first 5 phylums we will go through a summary, and the next 5 we will do a summary. That will be super helpful also. Yeah, and we will come up with the previous year NEET questions and all. Okay, so let us begin. Talking about the general characteristic, one thing I wanted to tell here is we are seeing phylum Annelida, right? So the word Annelida comes from the word annulus, okay, which actually means rings. So this is giving us a hint that all of these organisms are segmented. So basically they are true segmented worms. Okay, kiddos? So keep this in mind. One special quality about Annelida is they are segmented. Okay? Moving on to the very first point, which is habit inhabited. Talking about the habited children, they are both terrestrial and aquatic. Aquatic, mostly they are marine. You can find them in the marine waters, like that of the Nereis. You might have seen the picture of Nereis in your NCRT. Yeah, and talking about the habit children. Habit, if you see, so let me write it here. So they are parasitic. The very famous example of Annelida is leech, right? You might have heard the blood sucking leeches, which is parasitic, right? And also free living. Few of them are free living too. Okay, so this is regarding the very first point. Moving on to body organization, children. Of course, organ system level of organization. Okay, body symmetry, bilaterally symmetrical, of course. Then body coelom, of course you all know what is coelom, the body cavity, right? So the body coelom here, if you see, is they are eucoelomate. Okay, eucoelomate means, of course, they have true coelom, and under that they fall under this category called schizocoelom. So what is this schizocoelom now? Nothing but the coelom forms from the mesodermal layer, right? From the outpocketing of the mesodermal layer. That's what is meant by eucoelomate. Okay, and then germ layer, of course, 3 layers, triploblastic in nature. Yeah, Body plan, very, very, very important. Tube within tube. Tube within tube, again, I have taught you there are two categories, right? Proto and deuterostomate. So this one is protostomate, which is nothing but what? The mouth forms first and then later the anus formation. Okay? And then segmentation, of course, true segmentation. Okay? See how easy it is when we learn first the general characters and then the typical characters. So it becomes super easy, right? So come on, quickly note it down, and then we will move on to the typical characters and then the examples. So now that the general characteristics are done, we are moving to the typical characters. Okay? Yeah. So firstly, talking about locomotion, how they move. So basically, say if suppose this is their body, they have some hair-like structures like this, which is made up of chitin. Okay, and this we actually called it as setae. We call it as setae, which help in their locomotion, in their movement. Okay, so this is one important point regarding locomotion, so I wanted to put forward. And then digestion. So children, we already saw it's tube within tube protostomates, right? So of course they undergo complete digestion, and it will be extracellular digestion. Apart from this, if you see, very important thing, they have something called typhlosole. Write it down. They have something called typhlosole. What is this now? They are nothing but the dorsal medial folds in the intestine. I would compare it with the villi in human beings, which increases the surface area for absorption. So this does the same thing. So it will increase the surface area for absorption. Alright. And then respiration. So basically, I told you when we talked about the habitat, they can be both terrestrial and aquatic, right? So talking about aquatic annelids, they have a structure called parapodia, right? Which is a highly vascularized structure, highly vascular in nature. So what it will do? It will help in exchange of gases. Talking about terrestrial annelids, what do you think, children? What do you think? So imagine an earthworm, beautifully segmented. Have you seen their body? Yes. Have you seen their skin? Cutaneous respiration. This is Taneous, if in case it's not understandable. Cutaneous respiration, meaning respiration through skin. Okay? Right. So circulation, very, very, very important. So children, most of them, almost all of them I can say, is closed circulatory system. Meaning, the very first session I have taught you everything. Yeah. Nothing but they have blood vessels. Right. Vessels in which they have the circulatory element. Right. So here if you see, the hemoglobin is dissolved in plasma. not in RBC, which is unique, right? And there is one exception here, which is also very important, which is leeches. They have open circulatory system. And the coelomic cavity will be filled with hemocoelom. Filled with hemo, right? Kind of blood filled. Clear? Come on, I want everybody to quickly note it down. And the rest of the point for circulation, if you want, you can also mention that the heart is present on the dorsal side. Okay, so moving on to the next typical characters. Excretion. Of course, they have special structure called nephridia, which helps in excretion as well as osmoregulation. Fine. And one more important point to be noted, there are 3 types of nephridia, children. Okay, so pharyngeal nephridia, then integumentary, and then septal. Yeah, so there are 3 types of nephridia present in these organisms, which helps in excretion and osmoregulation. Apart from that, from the exam perspective, I wanted to introduce 2 important names. One is botryoidal cells. Where can you see them? In the leeches. What are they? They are nothing but modified connective tissues for storage and excretion. Where? In leeches. Very important question from exam perspective. Note. Chlorogogan cells. What are they now? You can see them in the earthworm, which is nothing but similar to that of the vertebrate liver. Okay, so which is analogous to the vertebrate liver. So note these 2 questions. Moving on to the nervous system and sense organ. Sense organ, talking about that, of course, they have chemoreceptors. And then they have paired ganglia. And if you look at their nerve cord, it will be like this. So I told you this paired ganglia, right? So you can see the nerve ring with the paired ganglia. So this is the nerve ring. And then they have a ventral double solid nerve cord. Can you see this ladder-like structure? So this is ventral nerve cord. This is, you can mention, double solid ventral nerve cord. So that's regarding the nervous system and sense organ. In reproduction, if you see, if you take earthworm and leeches, they are monoecious, meaning they are hermaphrodites. Meaning what, children? Monoecious. That is, a single individual will have both male and female reproductive system. Okay. Whereas if you look at Nereis, it is unisexual, meaning dioecious, right? That is, a single individual will have only male or female reproductive system. Okay. Yeah. And then talking about fertilization, it's external fertilization in earthworm and all. And development, talking about development, earthworm, if you take a direct development, whereas if you take the Nereis, it is indirect development. So here, very, very important, the larva name is trochophore larva, right? Very, very, very important. Note it down. And that's all for all the typical characters. We start with locomotion, digestion, excretion, respiration, circulation, nervous system, sense organ, reproduction, fertilization and development. Everything is covered. And then finally the examples. Look at the pictures there, children. So you are going to tell me what is what. Of course, the very first one is the farmer's friend. Of course, the earthworm. So the scientific name, if you see, is Ferritema posthuma. So I think I can write it down so that you can see it. Ferritema posthuma, which is nothing but the earthworm. What do you think is the second picture? Of course, the Nereis. Right? And the next one, what do you think? So this is called lumbricus. Lumbricus. As you can see, it's terrestrial, right? Almost similar to that of the earthworm. And then here, of course, nothing but the leech. So we call it hirudinaria, which is the blood sucking leech, right? And then the last one is nothing but arnicola. So you can have these handful of examples. Okay, so that's all, children. Quick overview if you want to see. So we saw Phylum Annelida today, starting with the general characters: habit inhabited, terrestrial, aquatic, parasitic, free living, body organization, organ system, symmetry, bilateral, eucoelomates, schizocoelomate, of course cryptoplastic germ layer, tube within tube, protostomates, and truly segmented. And talking about locomotion, digestion, respiration, circulation, I have highlighted all the important. So what is typhilosole and all is very important, right? And then we saw excretion, nervous system, reproduction, fertilization and development. And then we saw the examples: earthworm, Nereis, lumbricus, the leech and the arnicola. Finally, it's time for homework. Right, so the question from today's session I'm going to give you, so you can post your answers in the comment box. You first learn, okay, just go through the complete lecture, understand the lecture, then come to the homework part, see the question and then directly put the answer in the comment box. That's what you have to do. Very simple task, right? So I want you to comment on the fertilization and development in earthworm. What kind of fertilization and development does an earthworm undergo? And then what kind of circulatory system you can find In what? Leeches. Yeah. Yes, so that's all for today. Have a happy day. Hope you all enjoyed the lecture. So let me catch you up all with the next lecture, and the topic is going to be Arthropoda, the largest phylum. So do not miss it. Yeah. So let us see in the next lecture. Tada, bye bye. And do not forget to subscribe. Very important. So you can even share it to your friends. Let everybody learn. Let everybody score a lot of marks in the exam. Huh? So share it with your friends. Spread the word. Bye bye, Tata. Take care.